Hello everybody and welcome to my Strasbourg video blog for January. The weather here is not too bad. I think it's worse in the UK, certainly in the southwest as we speak, so I should be grateful for that. We've had a fairly quiet week here in Strasbourg, not least because there isn't a great deal for us to do at the moment in terms of plenary voting, because as you know we're now about 6 months into this new Parliament, but only about 6 weeks into the new Commission, and we're just still finishing off tidying up bits and pieces left from the last legislature. One of those that I've been heavily involved in and went to final vote this week was GMOs, genetically modified organisms. Now, this is very controversial. I know some of you will be absolutely against it, some of you will be absolutely in favour, and many people simply don't know that they have the facts to make up their minds. But I take a very strong view that GMOs would be very beneficial for British agriculture. We're now past that first generation of what the Daily Mail loves to call Franco foods. We're into second generation GMOs, and some of these products are really very beneficial. There's been some fantastic breakthrough technology in the UK, looking at plants which can provide us with seeds, which provide us with omega-3. And that means we no longer have to take that from the fishes, from the oceans. It saves in all sorts of other ways the environment. And it's a good, cheap source of something which is good for human development and good for our health. So I think it's very short-sighted to completely condemn all GMOs based on bits of cod science information, particularly from the US. So the other important issue here this week is something called the Commission's Work Programme. And I've spoken before about the Commission. I think I told you about the controversy about whether we British Conservatives would vote for or against the Commission. I chose to vote for. And I really stick by that, and I think I've been vindicated by what we've seen from this new Commission. And we particularly the Vice President, Frans Timmermans, who has a very clear agenda to reduce the amount that Europe does, to restrict the European Union to doing those things which are in the treaties and are of definite and achievable benefit for everybody, and which can be better done together rather than separately. And there are many issues there, and of course, as you know, I work on the environment. And one of the things that I've been doing is I'm the rapporteur for the air quality package. In simple terms, what that does is it sets the framework for clearing up air pollution. I think it's generally acknowledged, and particularly by this Commission and people, political groups like ours, that we've spent an awful lot of time in the last decade looking at greenhouse gas emissions. And maybe that's been to the detriment of some of the more polluting and health endangering gases. Things like nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, all of the things which come from transport, they come from industry, and to a large extent actually, often not acknowledged, they come from processes in agriculture. But all of these things can be controlled, they are controlled. We're doing a lot of good work in the UK, but they tend to be best done by European structures simply because they're not national problems. Unfortunately, gases don't really understand, pollutants don't understand national borders. And it certainly came as a surprise to me when I found out that 40% of the pollutants in the UK air actually come from mainland Europe. So it's very important to us to make sure that other countries in mainland Europe are actually following the proper procedures. So there was a point at which it was possible that would be withdrawn, but we've managed, I've had several meetings with the commissioners this week, including the Vice President, and we've managed to make sure that it will not be withdrawn so that we can continue with our work. And I work very closely with the UK government on this and make sure that we come up with a good solution that protects human health as best we can, protects the environment as best we can, but minimises the costs to industry and commerce. And really, that kind of sums up what being a good Conservative is about to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm signing off there. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to speaking to you again in my February blog, which is only 2 weeks away. We've only got one very short gap before our next Strasbourg. Speak to you then.